Peace, 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 family. My name is Michael Jordan, aka the Sirius Alchemist. Welcome back to another Saturday book review. I got a real good book review today, family. Talked to the spirit team, talked to my spirit guys about the book review this week, and they gave me a good one. I got to admit, they gave me a real good one. Today's book review, family, is called The Psychopathic Racial Personality and Other Essays by Bobby E. Wright. One more time, The Psychopathic Racial Personality and Other Essays by Bobby E. Wright. Well, this book right here, family, got a special place in my heart because the brother gave his life to write this book. You know what I'm saying? I want to make sure this is documented. This is out there. Brother gave his life to write this book. You know what I'm saying? So when you speak the truth, you know, there's a lot of, sometimes there's consequences come with speaking the truth. And back in the day when the brother wrote this book, you know what I'm saying? You know, they took him out for writing it, but I give the brother kudos because he was brave enough to write it. You know what I'm saying? He didn't back down. He put it out there anyway. So as I said, family, The Psychopathic Racial Personality and Other Essays. So what he's really doing is breaking down white supremacy, you know, in its rawest form, letting you know that it's a psychopathic, it's psychopathic in nature, white supremacy. And, you know, racism is psychopathic in nature. And he proves it in his book. You know what I'm saying? And as we can see, the state the world is in today, run by these bullies or, let's say, powers that used to be, that run by the powers that used to be, they act like bullies. You know what I'm saying? They run the planet like bullies. They ran the planet like bullies. You couldn't say this, you can't say that. You know what I'm saying? You can't talk about a certain race of people. You know what I'm saying? If you go to, you do this, you put this out, they're going to kill you. They threatening your life. You're getting life threats and all this kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? So I let you know what I'm saying, where we live at. But this brother right here was very courageous when he put this work out, brother Bobby E. Wright. And I'm going to read a little something from the back, like I always do, family. Bobby Wright forcefully emphasizes the need for the development of a Black social theory. This is a very difficult assignment and cannot be accomplished by brainwashed Black intellectuals who are awestruck by European theory and theorists. Bobby Wright's concepts of the psychopathic racial personality and menticide are major contributions to such a theory. Jacob Carruthers, professor, Northeastern Illinois University Center for Inner City Studies. That's what the brother wrote about the book. And it also says, a major contribution to the ongoing search for definitions and ideas that speak directly to the African-American experience, or what I like to say, the indigenous American experience. And yeah. So there's a couple pieces in here I want to read to y'all, family, because this brother was very intelligent. I appreciate the brother for what he did. You know what I'm saying? Anybody put their life on the line to get the truth out, man, you're a hero in my eyes, brother. You're a hero in my eyes. So shout out to Bobby E. Wright, you know what I'm saying, for writing this work. But I'm going to read a little piece out of here. And this is the foreword. And this foreword is very profound. That's why I'm going to read it. And it says, Bobby Wright, genius and honest search. How does one measure greatness? There are few Black men or women today in the right place or position asking the penetrating questions and demanding answers and corrective actions to the racial situation in the United States and the world. You feel me? Generally, Black people are viewed as pitiful pawns in an international game of control and manipulation, and our worldwide misuse is an accepted byproduct of business as usual. Family, tell me that shit ain't the truth. Even if you don't want to admit it, the truth, you know in your heart is true. You know what I'm saying? All indigenous people on this planet can relate to what I just read. So, The loss of Dr. Bobby E. Wright is magnified 100-fold because he was a constant swimmer, the energized professional, the concerned and loving family man, the Garveyite race man, always a step or two ahead of accepted theories, masquerading in insight and knowledge. Dr. Wright was a man who had fought to get the right place, not only to ask the right questions, but to demand and force the right actions. It is true that we do not recognize greatness among us. Our measurements of importance are generally faulty and speak mainly to the superficialities of life. Where one lives, the type of clothing one wears, the car one drives, the number of bodyguards that one employs to carry bags and open and close doors. Dr. Wright cuts through dishonesty with a passion. A clinical psychologist, he understood the mind of an enslaved people. He knew the mental state of people caught in a world stolen and remade for Europeans. His view was that of high African standards that gave the world civilization were now confusing or non-existent. Dr. Wright was a visionary with standards, values, integrity, and convictions. In essence, he was a man who valued African traditions and culture. He died in the prime of his thinking. He was involved in honest search. His presence was a stabilizing force for a people who had recently become anchored to video machines and sightlessness. He understood the power of ideas and was constantly cutting through nonsense and mediocrity. His concern was for the widening distance between the haves and the have-nots, the job givers and the job seekers. Bobby's love was conditional and selective. He had been burned often by the call of blackness and brotherhood. His work, more than most in his profession, is a telling indictment of white world supremacy. Through his multidimensional approach, he recognized and gave us a way of dealing with this evil. However, Bobby could not talk as fast as he was thinking. Even though he often tried, it seemed that his mind was always rushing, going jet-like from idea to idea, leaving most people on the bus of wasted Western culture. He was fire and energy, thoroughly original, possessor of a monumental mind in a sea of lobotomized small thinkers. He focused and unsettled us. In his short life, he seldom spoke of his own future. He knew of a death worse than personal physical passing, that of a people unaware of their own promise. Dr. Wright was a thorn in the brain of Black men and women posing as leaders. In many of them, he had diagnosed a deep personal dishonor that disqualified them for their trusted positions. His last words were a warning to his friends and associates. Watch the leadership, especially those proclaiming their God-given answer to the problems of Black people. Watch them. Yo, y'all, we got so many charlatans out here in this so-called spiritual community. You know what I'm saying? We got so many charlatans out here. Everybody out to get the bag. They're out for the dollar. And the dollar ain't worth nothing. You know, we needed to pay our bills and or whatever, but that's all it's really good for. You know what I'm saying? To go around a high side like you better than somebody else because of that bullshit, man, that's bullshit. But anyway, back to the content. He was a fighter within the eye of the volcano, a listener in the midst of the hurricane, a lover unafraid of giving tears or laughter, a scientist seeking bright and moving moments, a deliverer of truth within the truth, a tree displaying roots and beauty, a good and honest man carrying wisdom, carrying future. It is an honor to publish him. Haki R. Madhubutu, the publisher. That's what he wrote about this brother. Man, breathtaking to me. And hope somebody else sees it that way. But this brother was before his time, you know what I'm saying? The work he put out, y'all got to get this book and read it, man. Y'all got to get this. If you've been affected in the West or in any part of the world by racism, white supremacy, and you don't understand it, get this book. Because it's psychopathic in nature. And only a psychopath moves like that. Real normal people don't move like that with these kind of ideas. You know what I'm saying? We just don't move like that. So family, get the book. And I'm going to read something else out of here, family. Just another quick little piece. And it's called The Psychopathic Racial Personality. Okay, in a bullfight, after being brutalized while making innumerable charges at the movement of a cape, there comes a time when the bull finally turns and faces his adversary with the only movement being his heaving, bloody sides. It is believed that for the first time, he really sees the matador. This final confrontation is known as the moment of truth. For the bull, this moment comes too late. The experience of Black people all over the world presents an analogous situation. For hundreds of years, Blacks have been charging at the banners that are held by the European white matadors. Those banners have been represented by concepts such as democracy, capitalism, Marxism, religion, education. The banners remain constant as long as Blacks were assets. However, with technology and worldwide industrialization on the rampage, resulting in a further exploitation of Africa's resources, which in turn produce an increase in Africa's Blacks' national consciousness. Blacks are now a threat and a liability to the white race. We always been a threat, family, because this is our land. The globe was ours, the whole globe. That's why they try to make us a continental people, try to set us in Africa. And I ain't saying nothing bad against Africa because Africa's the throne. But the globe was the home. Our globe, this globe was our home, family. Africa was the throne. Yeah, Africa was, yeah, but we didn't just come from there. We came from around this whole entire globe, family. And that's another thing they try to hide from us. That's why we need to read and get books. Because the books clears up all that bullshit, all them lies. You know what I'm saying? But back to the content. Those banners have been represented by concepts such as democracy, capitalism, Marxism, religion, and education. The banners remain constant as long as Blacks were assets. However, with technology and worldwide industrialization on the rampage, resulting in a further exploitation of Africa's resources, which in turn produces an increase in Africa's Blacks' national consciousness, Blacks are now a threat and a liability to the white race. Therefore, the banner held by the matador represents only one concept: genocide. Genocide. Listen to that shit, family. It sends a messed up vibration through my body when I read it. They even say that word, genocide. It sends a terrible vibration. That shit gotta stop, and it's gonna stop. Shit finna stop. But anyway, let me keep it moving. As a consequence, the major research that white scientists are involved in today is genocidal in nature. Nuclear warfare, population control, medication control, genetic engineering, psychosurgery, electrical stimulation of the brain, and the highly complex science of behavioral technology. Indeed, it is Blacks' moment of truth. It is time for Blacks to look at the matador. Family, this is page 1 and 2. First 2 pages in this book. The psychological racial personality, another essay. And I think this book is not that much, man. I think I paid this book is only $6.95. So, I mean, it's shit, a few dollars, you can have this shit in your library, teaching your kids the truth. Because one thing I always do is I don't allow my kids to eat the same lies that I ate. You know what I'm saying? I don't allow my kids to eat the same lies I ate. You know what I'm saying? So, we need to clean that up. But, this book is worth its weight in gold, family. That's all I can say. I'm just held on words by this book. And this book leads me to something else. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of rumors going around the internet talking about Bobby passed and, some people hurt Bob. People did this and that to Bobby. I don't know what's going on, but I've been hearing stuff, but I know something ain't right. Something's not right with Brother Bobby, because Brother Bobby would have came and said something. And ever since his so-called stroke, we ain't heard nothing from him. You know what I'm saying? But when I seen the picture of Bobby in that Superman suit and the sister Onyx Rising, shout out to the sister Onyx Rising for making the video she made, because it really got me to thinking. And she made a lot of good points. So I checked the sister out. She's doing good work. But that leads me to this book, family. Through the Gates of Death by Dion Fortune. You know what I'm saying? Through the Gates of Death is really, really a good book. And so since I'm on the subject of death, and there's rumors circling the internet of Brother Bobby making the transition, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to do a truth spell to find out the truth about what really happened to Brother Bobby, because I know something ain't right. Something just ain't right about that whole thing. But I want to read something from the back of this book. Again, family, this is Through the Gates of Death by Dion Fortune. And it says, the issue of death haunts most human beings quite unnecessarily. It is widely thought that no one has ever returned from the dead to tell us what to expect. But this is itself is a false leap into ignorance and doubt. We have repeatedly been given ample clues about death throughout the ages, and this book by Dion Fortune is one of the best. The author was a trained esotericist with practical experience in clinical psychology. She was able to use her clairvoyant skills to observe the withdrawal of the spiritual connection from the physical body at the time of death, and track it as it is refocused its consciousness at more subtle, refined, but very much alive levels of being. She also was able to use her skills of past life recall to remember having died and been reborn many, many times over thousands of years. She has poured the insight she gained from this research into this profound book, Through the Gates of Death. The artwork reproduced on the front cover is a painting titled Santiago El Grande by El Salvador Dali. Get the book, family. Through the Gates of Death, Dion Fortune. And like I said, I know I've been here many times too, family. I know that already. I done lived many lives, but the most important one is the one I'm living right now, because it don't matter what I was back then or what I could have been back then. What most matters is what's happening right now and what I'm doing right now. And what I'm doing right now is trying to get people to get this scholarship work and read it and understand it. That's my mission. And so I'm going to read this one little part in here, and I'm going to read this. This is for Brother Bobby, because the brother taught me so much. And, you know, Brother Bobby did this journey with love and care. He wasn't no charlatan. He wasn't out to take nothing from no Bobby. Bobby did it for the love. Everybody knows Bobby's story. Well, Bobby could have had millions, man. He gave it all up to do what he did. And, you know, so shout out to Brother Bobby, you know. I would love to see some proof of life, a video of Brother Bobby speaking for himself and not nobody speaking for him. I love to see that. You know what I'm saying? But the brother taught me a lot. I mean, first time I met Brother Bobby was at the video. It was called back then, Bobby Hemmett Speaks to the Nuwabians, but now it's called A New Stairway to Magic, right? But I was at that video, me, my homie Anka, and another homie named Asaru. We put our money together and paid Bobby to lecture us, because Bobby was doing lectures for $350 back then, back in the day. And them lectures lasted like 10, 12 hours. So you was there all day. We was there all day. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, Bobby, you could just see the light he had. And there were some brothers that was in the room that day that was steady, you know, pushing Bobby and trying to push his buttons. But Bobby was cool and masterful and played him like a flute. So I know Bobby's in control, whatever's happening. I know Bobby's in control and he knows what's happening, but I just wanted to put this in the video. And I'm reading this. This goes out to Brother Bobby Hemmett. And thanks, brother, for what you did for a lot of us, you know. And those that tried to darken your light, brother, they couldn't do it. Your light was so bright, Bobby. Bobby, your light was just too bright, brother. That's why they was jealous of you. And that's why they probably tried to do it, whatever they did. But like you always said, Bobby, people plan things and the spirit world has a plan, and they think it's their plan, but it really the spirit world's plan. So it all works for the good in the end anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and read this. And it says, this is chapter 14, page 119, in Through the Gates of Death by Dion Fortune. How the Adept Meets Death is the name of the chapter, chapter 14. And it's interesting that's chapter 14 because Osiris was chopped up into 14 pieces. But anyway, it is a maxim of the path that those who have overcome are known by their serenity. The adept dies as he has lived, serenely. Death has no terrors for the man who knows the actuality of reincarnation through his own memories of past lives. He has died many times before, and the process is familiar to him. He is accustomed daily to withdraw consciousness from the brain and enter into the higher self in meditation. He knows that the time has now come to go out through that familiar gate and close it behind him, returning not again. Through long years of discipline upon the path of adepthood, he has been laying up treasure in heaven. He is accustomed to think of himself as a spirit, not as a physical body. For him, the body is but an observation post which he has constructed for himself upon the planet Earth. He knows that the call to withdrawal has come to him for one of two reasons. His physical body may be no longer a serviceable machine, and it is better and cheaper to scrap it and get a new one than to patch it up that which is past repair. Or it may be that he has completed his task upon earth and is summoned to go up higher. He accepts death freely and without cavilling, for he knows that if it were not his master's command that called him forth, all the powers of death and hell could not prevail to drive him out of his habitation of flesh. That shit's powerful right there, family. Did y'all hear that shit? I got to read that shit one more time. To him, his physical body may be no longer a serviceable machine, and it is better and cheaper to scrap it and get a new one than to patch it up that which is past repair. Or it may be that he has completed his task upon earth and is summoned to go up higher. He accepts death freely and without cavilling, for he knows that if it were not his master's command that called him forth, all the powers of death and hell could not prevail to drive him out of this. Excuse me. I'm excited. I'm getting ahead of myself and speaking kind of fast. But it says, all the powers of death and hell could not prevail to drive him out of his habitation of flesh. As he awaits the process of the body that shall open the gates to him, he sinks deeper into meditation, seeking to distill the essence of life's experiences, observing the lessons it has set him, noting those he has learned and those which are as yet imperfectly acquired, and striving by intensive effort to complete his realization of those lessons before the time comes for his departure. Soon he or she will know whether he or she has completed this task or whether he or she is destined to return to earth again to finish his work. If he finds that earth life is not yet finished for him and that he is to return, he will bend his energies to the task of constructing the archetype of the etheric mode, which is to give form to his body and direction to his destiny when he comes once more to earth. He endeavors to engrave upon the seed, Adam, the memory of the mysteries wherein he has been initiated, thereby surrounding it with those trailing clouds of glory, which the initiate soul is invested when it passes out once more through those gates which, when seen from above, are the gates of birth, and when seen from below, are the gates of death. As above, so below. Family, we die every night when we go to sleep. We may not believe it or not. We die every night when we go to sleep. Because to be asleep in this realm is to be awake in another realm. Never forget that. To be asleep in this realm is to be awake in another realm. So family, get this book. It's worth it, every penny. Don't let fear guide you. You know what I'm saying? If fear been guiding you in your life, be strong, be courageous. Grab the books, read them. They ain't nothing but books. They can't do nothing to you but expand your mind, expand your soul, and help you evolve as a being. So again, get the book, Through the Gates of Death, Dion Fortune. My name is Michael Jordan. I am the Sirius Alchemist. If you like a reading from me, I'll leave my email in the description box. Hit me up. If anybody tries to send you something about getting a reading from me, it ain't me. Because I don't go out looking for readings. I say this on the video, and then that's it. They come to me. So if anybody comes to you talking about emailing you or texting you or anything like that saying that's the Sirius Alchemist, for reading, you already know it's a lie because I don't roll like that. I put it out there, and that's it. Everybody comes to me. I don't go out there jumping into nobody's inboxes. There's none of that shit. So that's not me, family. So again, my name is Michael Jordan, aka the Sirius Alchemist. And if you like the content, hit the like button. You know what I'm saying? And if you're not subscribed already, if you're new to the channel, subscribe. You know what I'm saying? And if you want to be notified every time I drop a new video, hit that little bell on the side. My name is Michael Jordan, aka Sirius Alchemist. If you like a reading from me, I'll leave my email in the description box. See you in the next video. Peace.